I have to find it. Is 12. Find a way to bring our troops home. You are wrong. Every certified use Toyota. Streams.
Testing, testing.
Produced in North America.
Yeah, I mean, I'm embarrassed to say I broke the front door. My wife and I were having a fight, and I slammed the front door really hard, and it was sort of a cheap front door. We were living, the first place we lived was this kind of weird second floor apartment with a really, really cheap front door, and so, you know, I'm not such a monster, but I slammed the front door, and the glass broke. And I thought, you know, I'm such an ass. And I walked out with cold air streaming into my home, you know, and I just felt like such an ass. So I went to the hardware store and I got some more glass and I replaced it. But it's partly that image, like that image that just stays incredibly raw. So I broke the front door and I walked out under an embarrassed sky in the late afternoon of the latest spring they had seen in this town. After all this wandering, I can't recall my last words to you. But I know that by now, anyway, they mean what all the others do. The stone churches of Baltimore stand in the cold, holding Jesus out to me in hands that don't close, and his tears healing virtue, and blood of great worth soak the trash that also can't return to the earth. Soak the trash that also can't return to the earth. I've been sorting through all of the anger of my sullen century, and the gusts from the buses pick up plastic bags and they rise and sigh. You spoke quietly, didn't say half the things I know you wanted to, and I spat back the names of your ghosts in the order they haunted you. The stone churches of Baltimore stand in the cold, holding Jesus out to me in hands that don't close, and his tears healing virtue, and blood of great worth soak the trash that also can't return to the earth. Soak the trash that also can't return to the earth. out all I could get from a liquor store ATM. And I spent the whole lot and still could not afford proper remorse. After all this remembering, I can't recall your last words to me. But if I heard you speak them again, each one would sound like mercy, mercy. The stone churches of Baltimore stand in the cold, holding Jesus out to me in hands that don't close. His tears, healing virtue, and blood of great worth, soak the trash that also can't return to the earth. Soak the trash that also can't return to the earth. I've never taken out all I could get from a liquor store ATM. But I like the image, and that's probably a Baltimore thing as well, like being in these kind of seedy, like in California you go to a grocery store, and so you buy your dry salami and your artichoke hearts, and you buy your bottle of wine, and you walk out and you have a meal. And in Baltimore there's more of this kind of slightly seedy thing, to me anyway, like a liquor store where you only buy liquor is sort of weird. I think, if I have chosen folk, it's mainly because I don't have an amplifier, and I've just had an acoustic guitar sitting around. I really admire people. Like if you look at the Beatles songbook and you see Lennon/McCartney, that's sort of miraculous to me that two people could be open enough with each other to work together on something that is so. I mean, I'm really controlling about my songs. So if you wanted to change a word in my song, unless it just struck my fancy, I would probably fight you. I mean, as someone who's primarily interested in writing songs, I guess to me the big difference is not having to share control. I just love songs, And to me, one of the most pleasurable moments is the moments right after finishing a song when it still sounds great for whatever reason. For some reason, or somebody else. I mean, much more often I've had the experience of somebody else's song sounding great to me and just playing it over and over again on the stereo, or playing it over and over again on the guitar. And then at a certain point it starts to close down for you, and it no longer opens up that same kind of the chills feeling. But trying to have that feeling, I think, is a big part of what makes me want to write songs.